Plasmasonic, Peregrines No. 19, Spooky Simulacrum, written by Dray Space, Part 1. Cut to main airspace. Int, the Starblazer. Night. Kayne flies the Starblazer, an RV that can transform into a flying vehicle, toward Maine. Tommy sits in the front seat, and Gabriella sleeps in the bedroom of the RV. Tommy glances over at Kayne both inquisitively and intrigued.
So what's in Maine? I've only ever heard it mentioned in Stephen King's novels.
I'm going to pay my respects to a colleague of mine who has passed away, Dr. Maximus McGuire.
Tommy glances at Kayne, troubled, uncertain of his emotional state.
Oh, are you okay?
Kayne glances at Tommy, befuddled by her question.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just that I never really associated you with caring about humans, to the point you would honor their memory.
Come now, my heart isn't made of stone.
I suppose not. Were you and the professor friends?
That's a fair enough assumption. We were as close as our circumstances would allow. I'm also following a lead on a cryptic letter he sent me before his passing.
Do you mind if I see the letter?
Kayne fishes the letter from his coat pocket and hands it to Tommy. After unfolding the letter, she reads it.
Good intentions paved the way to hell. I sought to change the world, but unflinching watchers altered my course. What does it mean?
I do not know. He was an agricultural science professor at the University of Maine. He was highly acclaimed specifically for his research on crop and livestock preservation and his fight for the deregulation of seed patents.
Seed patents? How can that even exist?
Around the 1930s, the U.S. federal government passed the Plant Patent Act, which allowed people to legally claim that a plant was their intellectual property, even though people had been cultivating new breeds of plants for as long as they had been growing them.
Why would they go and do something like that?
In truth, there are some practical disadvantages to saving seeds. Still, it's mostly that companies figured out a way to make reusing seeds illegal, so that the practice of farming and food production, in turn, would become more lucrative.
More lucrative than citizens simply being able to afford groceries?
Like most other things that plague humanity, greed often obfuscates any real solutions and is substituted with colloids. One of Dr. McGuire's books displayed the calamity that patents on food production had wrought. Genetically modified crops could have been a good idea. Plants that couldn't be killed by pesticides. Simply brilliant. However, creating a patent for these reliable and resilient plants allowed companies to control production and profit through licensing agreements. Farmers, in turn, were required to adhere to contracts restricting the reuse or redistribution of the purchased seeds, and due to cross-pollination, which is all but unavoidable, they can enforce a stranglehold on whoever they want.
Tommy pinches her chin and vexedly sighs.
It's like finding a bottle of Dr. Pepper that magically refills when I'm done drinking it, and the company tells me I can't use it because they would be losing money.
Pretty much. The monetary profit that can be gained is more important than the benefits of progress.
Do you think there's any way to fix it?
Not without staunch coercion. However, many people believe that the wills of humans, no matter how destructive, are too sacred to impede, so the progress they claim to want ebbs and flows behind the guise of excogitation, synonymous with freedom, run by the elites who wish to continue exploiting them.
Tommy looks at Kayne, stumped by the information he's told her. Kayne looks ahead pragmatically as he continues to fly the Starblazer.
I'm sorry, but unfortunately, the answers you want aren't readily accessible when dealing with the bullheaded. The only way to progress is by force or by way of a system that undermines the current.
Tommy slumps over in her seat dejectedly with her arms crossed. Tommy then glances out of the window, perplexed by Kayne's response.
Yeah, I guess. I just dislike the idea of forcing people to do something that's clearly for the greater good. I know Mom can be resolute. I've seen it. But the more I hear your points, Papa, I wonder when enough will be enough. How are we ever going to change things?
Kayne glances over at Tommy, slightly perturbed that he couldn't provide an answer to her liking, and then continues flying the Starblazer toward their destination. Cut to the next day, Burnsley, Maine, XT Dr. McGuire's farm. Late morning. Tommy and Gabriella explore the grounds of Dr. McGuire's farm.
So Dr. McGuire did all of this work by himself?
I'm not sure, but I haven't seen any farmhands since we touched down.
Are you sure?
Yeah, why?
Gabriella points to what appear to be tractor tracks leading toward a shed near the back of the farm.
Those tracks look pretty fresh. I hope we won't be getting in anyone's way.
I'm sure it's fine. Dad was invited. I read the letter myself.
Weird that Dr. McGuire wouldn't have his family coming out to, clean out his estate.
I don't think he had anyone.
I hope he wasn't a sad man.
Well, he was an academic. Maybe the school was his second home.
Gabriella gives Tommy a pondering glance while holding her chin in the thenar of her right hand.
Did Dad say how much of the property we could explore?
No, but I'm sure as long as we don't break anything, everything is fine.
How long did Dad say we'd be staying?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I'm certain that he could be looking for something. I guess when he finds it, we'll be leaving.
I'm guessing it's mystery time?
Yep, mystery time.
Tommy takes out a piece of paper with the last part of the letter rewritten on it.
What's that?
I memorized the most important part of the letter and wrote it down. Good intentions paved the way to hell. I sought to change the world, but unflinching watchers altered my course. What do you think it could mean?
Gabriella ponders the meaning of the last part of the letter.
Huh, that's tough. It seems like a puzzle where we have to track down the pieces first.
Gabriella curiously looks around the farm.
You'd think it'd be easy to think with how quiet it is, but it's kind of the opposite right about now. I hardly hear any birds chirping, let alone the farm animals.
Now that you mention it, I see what you mean. Let's have a look around.
What are we looking for?
Dunno, but we've got to find something to do, right? Maybe we might even stumble into some clues.
Tommy and Gabriella look inside a barn and find a two-seater buggy.
Whoa, here's a clue. Why don't we take this puppy for a joyride?
I don't know. What if you wreck it?
I'll have you know I'm an excellent driver, Gabs. Besides, we could use it to get into town. It'd be a lot less conspicuous than cloaking and flying there. Trust me, I'll have it back before anyone knows it is gone.
Well, when you put it that way. Oh, fine. Just please don't overdo it.
Atta girl.
Cut to Burnsley, Maine, XT, dirt roads, afternoon. Tommy speeds down a dirt road with an overjoyed grin plastered across her face. Gabriella hangs onto the grab handle with an apprehensive smile that denotes while she's slightly afraid, she's still enjoying herself.
Woohoo! This thing rips.
Cut to Burnsley, Maine, XT downtown, Burnsley, noon. Tommy and Gabriella explore the downtown area together.
Well, it's quaint.
At least we're off the farm.
True. Maybe a change of scenery will spark some ideas. Why would McGuire give Dad a riddle with no clues?
Maybe he thought that Dad would know what he was talking about. After all, they've probably known each other for a long time.
Dad didn't seem like he knew, though.
Maybe asking around about him could help. Just because Dr. McGuire worked on the farm alone doesn't mean that he was a hermit. Well, at least let's hope not. He'd have to come into town to get supplies from time to time.
Tommy glances swiftly at Gabriella with an enthusiastic smile. Gabriella develops a slightly bashful smirk as she's thankful for the praise but slightly too insecure to bask in it.
Great idea, Gabs.
Oh, thanks. Where do you think we should start?
I think a hardware store is what we're looking for. Try to act like we don't know anything. We're sure to get more answers if we look curious rather than nosy.
Tommy and Gabriella go to a hardware store, and the clerk puts down her tablet. The hardware store clerk waves at them to greet them.
Hey there, how's it going?
Hey, hi. Hello.
My name's Tess. What can I help you with?
Tommy and Gabriella look at each other with slightly unsure expressions, trying to come up with a story on the spot.
Well, we just moved here from...
Out of state.
Yeah, and our dad sent us up here to look for nails for a she shed. So, that's what we're doing. Yep, nails for a she shed.
Tess gives Tommy and Gabriella an odd look, signaling that she's slightly suspicious.
Gotcha. Nails. I suppose you'd need building nails.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, 1 second.
As Tess goes to get the nails, Gabriella glances at Tommy, slightly confused, while Tommy returns Gabriella's glance with a shrug of her shoulders and a beats me expression. Tess comes back with a box of nails, rings them up, and sets them down on the counter.
All right, that'll be $5.98.
Tommy pays for the nails. Tess gives Tommy her change, and then she puts the nails in a bag.
All right, here you go. Good luck with your she shed.
Thanks. But before we go, would you mind if we asked you a question?
Oh, sure. I don't mind at all. It's been kind of slow today anyway.
We recently moved next door to a professor. I think his name was McGuire. You wouldn't happen to know anything about him, would you?
Oh, good old Max. Yeah, he recently passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Max was a good man, always right out straight. Though it was a bit odd how he got so much done and lived on his own.
Was he an older gentleman?
Well, from what I can recall, he was at least in his early 60s.
And he lived alone? No family?
I don't think he was the type for marriage and kids, but I never heard a bad thing about him. They say he was a good teacher. He'd come in here every so often, too, just picking up general supplies. If you want to know more about him, you should talk to Glenn. Glenn has a bookstore a couple of doors down. Before Max passed, he was constantly in the bookstore. Might have been his third home.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
You girls come back if you need anything else.
Will do. Thanks.
Tommy and Gabriella wave as they leave the hardware store and begin walking to the bookstore.
So he wasn't old and crotchety. That's a good sign. Let's see. He was a good teacher. People know he lived on his own. What don't we know?
Well, we don't know how he died.
Good point. Though it might be hard to extrapolate that with such a sensitive topic. Hopefully, Glenn can give us more insight.
Tommy and Gabriella enter the bookstore, and Glenn walks out from the back to greet them by waving warmly.
Welcome in.
Hey, hi, hello.
Are you young ladies looking for anything in particular?
We're just browsing, I think. Would you happen to have any books on farming?
Little lady, I try to have books about just about anything. Follow me.
Glenn directs Tommy and Gabriella to where the farming books are.
Everything on farming will be right here.
Thanks.
No problem.
Oh, excuse me. You wouldn't happen to know anything about Dr. McGuire, would you?
Oh, of course. Might I ask why you're asking?
We recently moved next door to him, and we were wondering what he was like.
Oh, sorry to tell you this, but Dr. McGuire recently passed away. Then again, passed away might not be the right term of phrase.
What do you mean?
Dr. McGuire was a frequent customer of mine. I never got any bad vibes from him, so I might be a bit biased in saying this, but he doesn't seem like the type of guy to have enemies. So I followed the police reports a little closer than most, and it seems like he was murdered.
Really?
Honey, I wouldn't be saying it unless I thought it was true.
What happened?
They say he was stabbed once clean through the heart, and that's what killed him.
Who would do such a thing?
I have some theories, but I don't want to sound like a kook. Let's just say that when you know what he was fighting for and you know how much the elites had to lose if he'd succeeded, You start connecting dots even if you don't want to.
I see.
Another customer walks in and Glenn goes to greet them.
Sorry, but I've got to...
No, please, don't let us stop you.
Thanks, maybe I'll see you later. Hey there, welcome in.
Tommy and Gabriella browse for a few seconds and leave the bookstore.
Man, this is just getting weirder and weirder.
Does Dad know that Dr. McGuire was supposedly murdered?
He didn't let on that it was the case.
What do you think Glenn meant by, when you know what Dr. McGuire was fighting for?
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have heard. Dr. McGuire was a fighter against seed patents. It's a long story. Short version, seed patents make it so certain companies have monopolies on certain produce and can dictate how much everyone gets to plant them.
Wow, they can do that?
Believe me, I thought the same thing.
So, Glenn thinks that maybe some elites had Dr. McGuire assassinated.
That's what it sounds like.
I hope it's not true.
Me too. The last thing we'd need is to be taking on some sort of conglomerate.
Tommy looks at the time on her phone.
I think we should get back.
Yeah, we should also let Dad know what we found out.
For sure.
Cut to, later. Burnsley, Maine. Int Dr. McGuire's guest house, late afternoon. Tommy, Gabriella, and Kayne sit in the living room together after having divulged all the information that they've discovered.
I see.
So, what do you want us to do?
I want to investigate Dr. McGuire's house and see if there's anything worth taking note of. I'm sure that whatever he wants me to find, it might be there. If you two could return to the bookstore tomorrow and check out Dr. McGuire's purchase history, that would be great.
We can do that.
Thank you, girls. This has been quite illuminating.
Kayne clenches his fist, slightly perturbed.
Are you going to be okay?
Not until I get to the bottom of this. McGuire's research, his work, so suddenly ended by greed. For the sake of the killer, they should very much hope that I never discover who they are. They will see the man I once was.
Gabriella glances at Kayne, slightly frightened when she sees how serious he is. Tommy, however, pats her on the shoulder in a reassuring manner to ease her mind, though Tommy does yawn in sincerity while stretching also.
Well, I don't know about you, Gabs, but I'm beat. I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, same here.
Rest easy, girls.
Cut to later, Burnsley, Maine, into Dr. McGuire's house. Night. Kayne looks around Dr. McGuire's study, his face sternly contorted in a perplexed manner. When Kayne inspects Dr. McGuire's desk, he discovers an aroma emanating from it. After further inspection, Kayne discovers a secret department with mint plants and a secret code puzzle. Kayne irritably inspects the puzzle.
Really, Maximus? Puzzles?
Kayne places the puzzle in his pocket and continues to investigate the house. Meanwhile, toward the back of the property, an unknown figure works in the shed with a light so dim it could barely be seen. Cut to the next day. Burnsley, Maine. XT Dr. McGuire's farm. Late morning. Gabriella wakes up in the guest room, yawns, and sees that Tommy isn't in her bed.
I wonder where could be. Figured she might have wanted to sleep in. I know that I couldn't resist.
Gabriella gets out of bed, gets ready, and leaves the guest house to see Tommy petting a cow.
Oh, hey there, Gabs. When I was going for a run, I found this cow roaming around. She was about to leave the farm.
Look at her. She's so cute.
I know, right? I love the color of her fur. You want to pet her?
Yeah.
Gabriella approaches the cow and pets her on the head. The cow licks Gabriella's hand and nuzzles her with her head.
She sure is friendly.
Yeah. I didn't want her running off or anything, so I'm gonna go put her up. I wonder how she got out.
Okay, I guess I'll have a little look around for any more critters.
As Tommy leaves with the cow toward the barn, Gabriella hears the sound of the chickens going ballistic.
I wonder what's going on with them.
Gabriella approaches the chicken coop and sees that there's a northern black racer inside of it, which is the cause of alarm from the chickens.
Oh, crap.
Tommy uses her super speed to get to Gabriella's location. Tommy looks at Gabriella inquisitively while Gabriella worriedly points to the chicken coop.
What's going on?
Would you mind helping the chickens? There's a snake in the coop.
Oh, no problem. That's light work.
Tommy opens the chicken coop, allowing the chickens and chicks to escape. Tommy then charms the snake, making it docile enough to pick up.
All right, dude. You're gonna have to go find breakfast somewhere else. Go on, get.
Tommy sets the black racer on the ground, and it slithers away with a burst of speed. Gabriella chases around a few of the loose chicks and puts them into a pouch in her overalls. One of the chicks scurries into a shed, and Gabriella pursues it.
Hey, buddy, isn't that coop a little too big for you?
In the shed, Gabriella scoops up the last chick, turns to leave, and sees a scarecrow sitting at a table in the shed, which causes her to flinch, slightly frightened. There's a ray of sunshine that pours over the scarecrow from a huge hole in the ceiling of the shed.
Hostia, ¿qué diablos está haciendo eso allí? Man, that's creepy. What's that doing in here? I hope this wasn't some kind of elaborate prank.
Gabriella keeps her eye on the scarecrow as she leaves the shed and then goes to the chicken coop to put the chicks back in. Tommy, who's wrestling a feisty chicken, gets it into the coop and glances at Gabriella with a relieved grin. Tommy, however, reaches out toward Gabriella, concerned as she sees that Gabriella's flush in the face.
Woo, that bird was feisty. Hey, what's the matter?
Gabriella snaps out of her daze and looks at Tommy with a slightly befuddled grin.
Huh?
You just sort of look like you'd seen a ghost.
Oh, sorry. It's nothing, just sort of spaced out. Hey, we should get to the bookstore.
Right. No time like the present.
Cut to Burnsley, Maine, X to downtown, early afternoon. Tommy and Gabriella approach Glenn's bookstore again.
So, how are you going to get Glenn to talk?
I don't know. He seemed talkative enough the other day. Maybe he might just tell us if we ask him.
Tommy and Gabriella enter Glenn's bookstore, and he waves at them from behind the desk.
Welcome back. Hopefully I've interested you in making a purchase.
Yes, we were interested in trying to start our own garden. However, I was kind of curious about something you said the other day.
Really? What might that be?
Well, it just sounded kind of worrisome, that if we started planting our own garden, we might have to be looking over our shoulders a little bit.
Yeah, about that, Dr. McGuire said that he'd seen seed inspectors sneaking around his property.
That's a thing?
Yep, they go around seeking what plants may have cross-pollinated with their own so that they can sue people. It's nothing but corporate greed and easy money because they know people can't afford to fight them in court. What's worse, they also know it's no fault of the farmers themselves.
That sucks. How is something like that even legal?
Administrative tyranny. They say it's balanced against the Fourth Amendment, but it's really just their way of keeping control of the market.
You wouldn't happen to know what books Dr. McGuire was interested in, would you?
Well, I can't disclose that. It's a confidentiality policy, sorry.
Oh, thanks anyway.
No problem.
Tommy and Gabriella walk away from the front desk, beginning to browse books and whispering amongst themselves.
Well, it looks like we've hit a dead end.
Maybe not. I still have one more ace up my sleeve.
Really, what's that?
I could charm him.
Well, I guess we do need the information. Besides, it doesn't hurt him, right?
Nope, it's painless. However, he might be a little confused when he snaps out of it.
Okay, I'll keep watch.
Tommy approaches the counter while Gabriella feigns browsing books, slightly peeking around to make sure the coast is clear.
Hey, excuse me, Mr. Glenn.
Glenn looks up after finishing some typing on his computer.
Yes. How can I help you?
As Glenn locks eyes with Tommy, she charms him.
I'm really sorry to ask this, but it would really help if we knew Dr. McGuire's purchase history. Could we please get a copy of it?
Glenn enters a trance-like state.
Yes, certainly.
Glenn gets a file ready, prints it on receipt paper, and hands the receipt to Tommy. Tommy puts the list in her pocket and places a book down on the counter.
Thanks. Would you mind exiting out of that information and ringing this up for me?
No problem.
Glenn exits out of the information he got for Tommy and rings up the book. Tommy breaks her charm with Glenn, and he shakes his head as he snaps out of the trance. Glenn, puzzled and slightly embarrassed, looks at Tommy.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. I must have blacked out there for a second. Did you need something?
Yes. I was trying to buy this book.
Oh, yes. Right away.
Glenn smiles, takes the cash from Tommy, and hands her the change. Glenn then puts the book in a bag and hands it to Tommy.
Man, I may need to get a cup of coffee. Anyway, thank you for your patronage, girls.
You're welcome.
Tommy and Gabriella leave Glenn's bookstore. As they walk down the street, they look at the receipt together.
All right, let's check it out. Whoa.
Whoa is right. Dr. McGuire bought a bunch of legal and novelty spell books. Wonder what that's all about.
Yeah. Man, we've got more questions now than ever before. I guess we can look them up when we get home.
Tommy and Gabriella arrive at an intersection and see that across the street is a trampoline park.
Whoa, check it out. How did we miss that?
Dunno, but I want to check it out.
Then let's hop to it.
Cut to, later, Burnsley, Maine, Int, Dr. McGuire's guest house, late afternoon. Tommy, Gabriella, and Kayne all sit together in the living room, going over information they've discovered.
I must say you girls have done some excellent work. So the question is, how do we apply it?
Try to see if he has any of these books in his personal library. We can inspect them further after that.
Agreed. Good thinking. Gabriella, have you made any headway with that puzzle? I swear McGuire was truly haughty to hide information in such a way.
Gabriella inspects the puzzle for a few seconds and snaps her fingers with a comprehensive joy.
I've got it.
You do?
Yeah, it's a code.
Gabriella works out the code, and the answer to it is Yellow Brick Road.
I'm sure I did this correctly, but I'm not sure what the answer means.
The Wizard of Oz? What's that got to do with anything?
I'm not sure, but between all the information we've discovered so far, one thing is certain. McGuire is being intentionally vague. What's worse, there's no reason for it.
I'm sure it'll mean something to you when you start looking.
Let's hope so. I'm growing tired of these elusive answers.
Part 2. Cut to later, Burnsley, Maine, Int Dr. McGuire's house. Night. As Kayne inspects Dr. McGuire's house, he notices that some tiles on the floor are more yellow than the rest of the brown coloring.
You've certainly outdone yourself this time, Maximus.
Kayne follows the pattern to an in-house library, and on the shelves, he finds the Divine Comedy at eye level. Kayne takes the Divine Comedy off the shelf and flips through it. Kayne spots a sheet of paper, and on it is written, Ray Bolger. Kayne glares at the piece of paper with a furrowed brow.
It's all making sense now.
Cut to the next day, Burnsley, Maine, to Dr. McGuire's farm, noon. Tommy and Gabriella walk around Dr. McGuire's farm together.
Ah, why did Mr. McGuire have to be so vague?
Well, with everything that's going on, it makes sense on paper. If he had something to hide, maybe he had to make sure that no one but us would find it.
Tommy glances at Dr. McGuire's house with a playfully suspicious pout. Gabriella looks at Tommy with a slightly spooked frown.
I wonder what we might find in there.
Are you sure we should go in there? Feels kind of weird to snoop around in a dead guy's house.
Tommy confidently smirks at Gabriella. Gabriella nervously shivers with a frightened frown.
What do you mean? We're here specifically to snoop. We won't stay long.
What if it's haunted?
Even if it is, I wouldn't let anything happen to you. Come on.
Tommy and Gabriella walk over to the house. Tommy checks the doorknob and sees the door is locked.
Drat, it's locked. I don't want to break the door or anything. Wait.
Tommy sniffs the air and checks under the doormat, finding a key alongside mint leaves.
How'd you?
I smelt the brass and the mint. Dad's been here also. I can smell a faint scent of his cologne.
Wait. Won't that mean he'll know we've been here too?
I'm sure he won't mind. I mean, we could find what he's looking for.
Tommy unlocks the door. They walk in and begin snooping around the house. As they walk, Gabriella dislodges a weak board panel in the floor and slightly cracks it.
Crap, my bad.
Try to be careful. The floor needs some work done, from the looks of it. Wait, Gabs, check it out.
Tommy points to the golden color of the board. Gabriella stepped on.
Not exactly a brick, but definitely yellow.
Gabriella points to a pattern in the floor as well.
It's leading somewhere too.
I guess we should follow it.
Tommy and Gabriella follow the pattern into the library. However, the Divine Comedy is not on the shelf anymore.
What are we supposed to find here?
I'm not sure. But I can tell Dad's already been in here. Maybe he already discovered the clue.
Tommy and Gabriella look out of the window into the back of the farm property and see the produce fields with multiple scarecrows in them.
Whoa, that's a lot of scarecrows.
Well, Mr. McGuire was the only person on the property. You can't just let the crows have their fill of the crops.
I guess you're right. But how effective are scarecrows really?
Tommy and Gabriella leave the library. And as they reach the living room, Tommy hears something outside. Tommy also instinctively stops Gabriella.
What's the matter?
Someone is arriving out front.
Tommy and Gabriella approach the front entrance of Dr. McGuire's house, see a truck approaching the back of the farm property, and they look at each other with determination, signifying that they're on the same page.
Let's follow him.
Yeah.
Tommy takes Gabriella by the hand.
Rarniers.
Tommy bends the light around Gabriella and herself to cloak them. Once cloaked, Tommy and Gabriella leave the house, approach the part of the property the truck went to, and see that it is seed inspectors taking samples.
I wonder what did the old man in?
The police are saying it was foul play. At least we get to do our jobs in peace now.
Yeah, it's just the way the game is rigged. You can't be upset with us for needing to make a living.
And you also know that people are only mad because they didn't think of it first. Patenting seeds. Hey, that's the way America flows.
I wonder who GLF is even going to pursue for a case if they do find anything. The old man didn't have any next of kin.
They're going to get whatever they can take, most likely to make examples out of anyone else who fancy themselves rebels. It's how they do things.
Once the seed inspectors get the samples they need, they leave the farm. Tommy and Gabriella then become visible again once the coast is clear.
That's just horrible.
Yeah, it really is.
So what do we do now?
Well, we need to get to the bottom of this mystery. But I doubt sitting around and overthinking is going to help. Why don't we go to the trampoline park again?
Sounds like a plan. I'm surprised that a town like this even has one.
Cut to, a while later, Burnsley, Maine, NT Trampoline Park. Afternoon. Tommy and Gabriella entertain themselves at a trampoline and adventure park. Gabriella gets a running start and performs a somersault into a backflip. However, she doesn't stick the landing. Tommy does 5 backflips before landing beside Gabriella on the safety padding and sitting down beside Gabriella.
Have you thought of anything yet?
Not yet. The only thing that comes to mind is the Wizard of Oz references.
I know this isn't particularly helpful, but I can't get my mind off the scarecrows. It's a shame they didn't ward off those seed testers. Do you think any of those companies could have had Dr. McGuire killed?
I think that's a stretch too far. Now, if it were an oil company, I feel like a deeper look into that avenue would be warranted.
Well, I'm not sure at all what to think anymore.
We don't have to have the answers right now anyway. There are still a lot of things I want to try.
Yeah, did you see they have a vertical wind tunnel? I really want to try it.
Hey, don't let me stop you.
Cut to, a short while later, Burnsley, Maine, NT Trampoline Park. Afternoon. As Tommy and Gabriella are leaving the trampoline park, Gabriella's stomach growls.
Man, I guess I worked up an appetite.
I wonder what's good to eat around here.
Hey, you girls into seafood?
Well, I'm not opposed to it.
I love seafood.
There's this restaurant called Dockside Decadence that has a really good sale going on crawdads. You check them out, and you will not be disappointed.
Thanks for the recommendation.
The trampoline park worker continues to do her tasks while Tommy and Gabriella leave. Cut to later, Burnsley, Maine, int Dr. McGuire's guest house. Afternoon. Gabriella and Tommy prepare dinner in the kitchen together while a storm rages outside. A flash of lightning followed by a bellowing thunder is seen as well as heard. Gabriella stops cooking for a second to glance outside at the cornfield, where the wind relentlessly shoves the scarecrows on their posts.
You see something?
No, just looking. I hope the animals will be all right.
They have to at least be in their shelters. I'm more worried about this monsoon. It's liable to flood out there. And here we are, without an ark.
Tommy returns to the stove and stirs the pot.
But luckily, we have this huge crawfish boil to enjoy, despite the weather.
I can't wait to try it.
Me either.
Cut to, a short while later, Burnsley, Maine, into kitchen, afternoon. Tommy, Gabriella, and Kayne all eat dinner in the kitchen together. Kayne wipes his mouth with his napkin and glances at Tommy and Gabriella.
Girls.
Tommy and Gabriella shoot surprised glances at Kayne.
First off, dinner was wonderful.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Dad.
I regret to inform you that I haven't made much headway in this predicament. It would seem that Maximus, in an attempt to stupefy any potential adversary, made this quandary as difficult as he possibly could. However, I do not believe I found myself at an impasse. I will get to the bottom of this conundrum.
Dad, it's fine. If we're being honest, we're all stumped.
Yeah, I've never known you to do anything other than the very best work. Besides, we've still got the rest of the town to explore. Please, take your time.
Kayne glances at Tommy and Gabriella with a pleased expression.
Many thanks, girls.
Cut to, later, Burnsley, Maine Int, Dr. McGuire's guest house. Night, Tommy and Gabriella watch The Wizard of Oz in one of the guest bedrooms as the storm continues. A bright flash of lightning followed by a tremendous bellowing of thunder causes Gabriella to flinch. Tommy giggles a tiny bit and Gabriella looks at her with a pouting frown.
Hey, that's not funny. It was loud.
I'm sorry, Gabs.
Tommy yawns and Gabriella continues watching the movie.
Hey,
Yeah?
did you get a strange vibe from Dad?
Maybe a little. I felt that he was a little too... Gosh, I barely have the words for it.
Sentimental.
Yeah, that's the word. I got those vibes too loud and clear, although I do think that he respected Dr. McGuire's work. On the way here, I caught another glimpse of his more magnanimous side. It is always kind of jarring to encounter.
Huh, maybe it was nothing to worry about then.
Maybe not.
This movie is wonderful, by the way.
I know, right? For a movie so old, it really holds up.
Cut to Burnsley, Maine, ext Dr. McGuire's main house, night. Kayne arrives at the entrance of Dr. McGuire's main home, uses the key to unlock the door, and enters the house. Kayne walks into the basement of the house and finds a makeshift research facility where there are different notes about bringing different inanimate mannequins to life.
Paving the way to hell indeed, Maximus.
Kayne hears a shattering sound upstairs, develops a vexed furrowed brow, and uses his super speed to get upstairs.
You can't be serious. McGuire, what were you thinking?
He sought to do what all men claim, but are unable to. He believed he could make things better.
Kayne walks toward the back of the house.
However, a better world requires work. Work requires a relinquishing of ambition, of leisure.
Kayne arrives in the kitchen, sees that there are stairs leading to the second story of the house, and develops an annoyed scowl.
Why do you hide from me? Don't tell me that you're scared.
Don't use semantics to try to insult us, vampire. Are you afraid that we'll get rid of your food? Although Dr. McGuire did send for you, do you think you'll be able to stop us?
Stop you? You're lucky that's all I can do. If it were up to me, I'd torture your wretched souls until even I was sick of it. The man you murdered was on a path to improving the status of the feckless race you venture to arrogate.
You really think he might have succeeded?
Well, it's impossible to know now, isn't it?
What are you so upset over? McGuire was at fault for messing with forces he didn't fully comprehend. What's even worse, he sought slaves to do his work while he toiled in vain against the principalities of his world. You know what must be done as well as we do. We could unite, rule the humans together.
I don't share conquests.
Then we'll just have to deal with you now, won't we?
Scarecrow number 1 bursts through the ceiling of the house behind Kayne and attempts to slash him with a sickle. Kayne dodges the attack. The Scarecrow's sickle hits the floor, and Kayne steps on the sickle, lodging it into the floor further. Kayne then grabs Scarecrow number 1's head and rips it from its body. Kayne nonchalantly throws Scarecrow number 1's head away and looks around the room he's in. The Scarecrows suddenly begin bursting out of the walls, floors, and ceiling around Kayne. Kayne kicks Scarecrow number 2 in the chest, knocking it out of a window in the kitchen, slashes Scarecrow number 3 across the chest with his claws, and punches through Scarecrow number 4, punching the wall behind him. Scarecrow number 4 then grabs Kayne's arm and begins emitting sunlight, which weakens him.
What?
Kayne struggles with Scarecrow number 4, smashes its head against the wall, and throws it back through the hall toward the living room. Kayne glances at his arm, which is slowly healing, and glares at Scarecrow number 5, which cackles at him.
Surprised.
Annoyed.
You won't have to worry about it once you're dead. While we're rendered immobile by the sunlight, unlike you, it is not a total hindrance. We are charged by its light, and we can use the energy to our advantage against beings like you.
Scarecrow number 5's face emits sunlight that weakens Kayne, and he attempts to shield himself. Kayne is suddenly bombarded by the rest of the Scarecrows as they attempt to overwhelm him with light. Kayne powers through and punches the head off of Scarecrow number 6. Scarecrow number 5 slashes Kayne's left calf, and he falls to a knee. Kayne then aims his hand at Scarecrow number 5.
Be gone.
Kayne shoots a magical bat-shaped projectile attack at Scarecrow number 5, knocking it back through a wall. Kayne is then ambushed by Scarecrow number 7, which grabs him and hits his head against the wall 3 times before throwing him to the basement through the floor. The remaining Scarecrows all look at each other.
His children are likely to know of us as well. Then we deal with them. This world will belong to us.
Cut to Burnsley, Maine, Inti, Dr. Maguire's guest house, night. Gabriella and Tommy watch another movie when suddenly the power goes out. Gabriella looks around with a worried frown while Tommy glances out of the window, curiously.
Oh, man. I had a feeling that the storm might knock the power out sooner or later.
It couldn't be the storm. It's died down.
What do you think it could be then? It's almost as scary as the scarecrow you propped up in that shed.
Tommy perplexingly glances at Gabriella. Gabriella's face becomes full of shock as she realizes Tommy's telling the truth.
Huh? I didn't do that. More importantly, I wouldn't do that to you.
You wouldn't?
What? No way. After what happened with Mara and Fayetteville, I would never put you in that situation again, Gabby.
What do you think is going on?
We'd better go and check it out.
Tommy stands up and powers into her hero costume. Plasmasonic glances back at Gabriella, who is grabbing her collapsible bow from her backpack.
Hey, Gabby, you got your...
Wouldn't leave home without it.
Plasmasonic smiles and takes Gabriella by the hand.
Rare Rarniers.
Plasmasonic cloaks herself and Gabriella. As stealthily as they can, the girls begin traversing downstairs, and they find that outside the Scarecrows are looking into the guest house.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, although I wish that I wasn't.
What should we do? I wonder where Dad is.
Plasmasonic hears the sound of Scarecrow number 8 behind her, grabs it, and throws it out of the kitchen window. Scarecrow number 9 drops down from the ceiling in front of Plasmasonic and Gabriella brandishing a sickle. Gabriella shoots Scarecrow number 9 in the head with an arrow, and it cackles.
That tickles.
Then you're gonna love this.
Plasmasonic punches Scarecrow number 9 in the face, and it crashes back through a wall. Gabriella jumps back as Scarecrow number 10 jumps up through the floor and tries to grab her. Gabriella hits Scarecrow number 10 in the head as it attempts to attack. Plasmasonic grabs Gabriella, flies out of the house with her, and the Scarecrows that are left start assembling in front of them.
How is this happening?
These are the unflinching watchers Dr. Maguire was talking about.
That's correct.
Plasmasonic and Gabriella glance back to see Kayne joining their side, walking out of the main house.
Are you okay?
They ambush me, but I will be fine. Dr. Maguire brought these Scarecrows to life so that while he worked on his research and legal battles, they could tend to everything he didn't finish. However, unbeknownst to Max, the Scarecrow husks were inhabited by malevolent spirits who plan to continue replicating themselves.
What do we do?
We destroy their vessels. That's their only tether to the plane.
You think you have a chance, vampire?
Underestimating me will be your ruin, mannequins.
We'll see about that.
Kayne stands in between Plasmasonic and Gabriella and whispers something to them. Gabriella and Plasmasonic nod with understanding. Then with blinding speeds, Plasmasonic and Kayne begin fighting the Scarecrows. Gabriella stays back, shooting from a distance as support. Scarecrow number 15 sees this and darts toward her to engage Gabriella. Gabriella fires 2 arrows. Scarecrow number 15 evades them, and Gabriella blocks Scarecrow number 15's knife with her bow as it attacks. Gabriella breaks Scarecrow number 15's guard, hits it in the legs, and uppercuts the Scarecrow, knocking it back. Gabriella tries to shoot another arrow, but Scarecrow number 15 knocks her to the ground. Plasmasonic hears Gabriella in distress, darts at Scarecrow number 15, and plunges her hand into its back.
Bows Conan.
Plasmasonic shoots an energy bat that completely destroys Scarecrow number 15, helps Gabriella stand, and gives her a look over.
You okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Plasmasonic continues to execute the plan, corralling the Scarecrows into a specific location, while Gabriella offers support, shooting the Scarecrows to keep them within the specified locale.
Now.
Pisarara Faifan.
Plasmasonic traps all of the Scarecrows in one place using a barrier, and Kayne hovers in the air above them. Kayne then aims his hand at the Scarecrows, and Plasmasonic flies Gabriella a safe distance away.
This is for the man you murdered. Go back to hell where you belong. Horanavo Modol.
Kayne shoots an energy blast at the group of trapped Scarecrows, and they are destroyed in a large explosion. Kayne lands on the ground, looking at the smoldering crater that was the Scarecrows with a solemn expression. Plasmasonic and Gabriella land near Kayne, but give him a moment to himself. Kayne then glances at Plasmasonic and Gabriella.
I'll make the arrangements for the damages to be repaired. Let's go home.
Okay.
Cut to the Starblazer, int the Starblazer, night. Tommy sits in the front passenger seat as Kayne flies back toward Bedrock. Gabriella sits in the seats closest behind them, dozing off ever so slightly. Kayne grips the steering wheel with an aggravated expression.
You know what I find perplexing?
What's that?
In all of our time knowing each other, I never revealed to Maguire that I was a vampire. I can't say for sure whether he was aware or not. Whatever his inclination, he seemed to believe that I was capable of dealing with his quagmire. Thus, he's left me with doubts and uncertainties. Was he a fool who believed himself capable of traversing the supernatural alone? If not, why not contact me?
Maybe it was a little bit of both.
His work was too important for arrogance. I had too much to lose to disclose secrets. Perhaps I'm not doing enough.
We're all doing what we can. It's all we can do.
I hope you're right.
Kayne continues flying the Starblazer back toward Bedrock.